You know what? A lot of people take their freedom for granted, right? And then a lot of people experience a little bit of success, and you can't tell them nothing. They own the world now. They have no more respect now. They feel like they're untouchable now. And then that freedom is snatched away. Like this story right here. This is a sad story, man. This is a story of actor Kaalan Walker. Kaalan Walker, if you watch Superfly, you might have seen him as an actor in it, but he was a child actor also. So he grew up in the Hollywood scene, acted in many different things until this point. What do you do to get hit with 50 years in prison before you are eligible for parole? Today we have a follow-up as to how he is doing as of June 22nd, 2024. But we're going to get you the backstory to tell you how he got in this position in the first place. So, Superfly actor Kaalan Walker was sentenced to 50 years to life in prison after being convicted of RAPE. Yep. Starting in 2013, he used Instagram and Twitter to contact women, like a lot of people do nowadays. I'm sliding in her DM. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up? It start out with you liking a picture, liking a couple of pictures, then you slide in the DM, and then things progress from there. This is the new world we're living in. People no longer meet on street corners or set up meetings or walk by and talk to each other and exchange numbers. So he used to reach out to aspiring models on social media, and he used to promise them opportunities in the industry for professional work. And he used to also promise them that he would have them in his circle so they could meet celebrities. There's a lot of stuff that people do to be close to celebrities who they think can get them closer to other celebrities, because you might not be the dream celebrity that they want to meet, but they know that you are in that circle. So eventually, I'm going to end up meeting my favorite celebrity. Hell, I might even get to sleep with her or him. That's a lot of people's mindset. This is why what happened to P. Diddy, Puffy, happened the way it did. Nobody got a knife or a gun put to their head and told, come here, do this, stay for the freak off parties, do this, do that. They all participated willingly, but they all saw at the end where they could benefit from it by tarnishing his name in order to get some money in their pockets, because they didn't get the other things they went for, like the fame and the sexual experience with the famous people, and to be a part of that circle. Fight me, bite me, I said what I said. Now, on to his story. Superfly actor, that's the last thing he acted in. Kaalan Walker. He was sentenced to 50 years to life in prison. Now, I know somebody is saying 50 years and he didn't kill anybody. Well, this was after he was convicted of raping 4 women and 3 teenage girls. That's 7 people that he met on social media. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office confirmed this. Now, 7 is what they caught. They said your boy was out here wilding. Okay? So there are many more out there that probably just never came forward. He was doing his thing out here, heading to prison and didn't even know it. He just thought he was flexing his celebrity muscles. Oh, she giving me some coochie off the strength that she thinks I'm going to help her to get into Hollywood. Now remember, he is using his professional resume to get to these women, to trick them. He's been in Hollywood, so there's no doubt that he has access to Hollywood, right? Now Walker, who was 27 at the time, he was also instructed by Superior Court Judge Joseph Brandolino to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. That alone is a burden to carry. But he won't have to worry about that for the next 50 years, because he has to do 50 years before he is eligible for parole. 27 years going into prison, 50 years in, man, he'll be damn near 80 years old when he gets out of prison. And then you got to go register as a sex offender for the rest of your life when you're almost 80. Sad, sad, sad. Deputy District Attorney Cynthia Wallace said that she considers him to be a true definition of what a predator is. Now, Walker's attorney, Andrew Flair, he did not have any immediate response when media houses reached out to him trying to figure out, like, did something go wrong in the trial? What happened? How come he ended up with 50 years? A jury in Van Nuys, California, found him guilty of 3 counts of forcible rape. Forcible. 1 count of assault to commit oral copulation. That means he beat somebody into a submission so they could put the D in their mouth and do what he wanted to do. 2 counts of statutory rape, which means those are underaged, and 2 counts of rape by intoxication, which means he got those people drunk and then did what he had to do, slipped them a Mickey, put something in their drink. And the first one, forcible, you already know what that means. If you got to force somebody to do something, it means it was against their will. The jury found him not guilty of 1 count of the 7 counts he was up against, and that was of digital penetration and 2 counts of forcible rape. Man, now you're going to see a dark side of him, Deputy District Attorney Yasmin said in her opening statement in court. You're going to see a dark side of him. Walker used Instagram and he used Twitter to contact women, including aspiring models on social media, and he would promise them opportunities. And they were excited because when they saw who it was that was in their inbox, they thought they had arrived. Like a lot of these girls you see on social media, right? Young ladies, they go to the gym, they work out a lot, they keep a tight body. But I mean, they're young. They're supposed to have a tight body, right? But they advertise their asses on social media, on Instagram. I remember one time where it was typical to sit on the bathroom sink with one ass cheek up there so that everybody can see how fat that piece of ass is. That's just what it is. I'm just talking truth, right? Might sound away, but it is what it is. They were advertising ham, and there was a lot of ham eaters out here, so you would have a lot of men in their inbox. Now, these men that go into their inbox, they're sifting through them. They're looking for who has what they want. You can't be just no broke Joe. She's looking for somebody with money. She's possibly looking, hoping that her dream ka-ching, ka-ching would be Drake, or would be somebody who is famous and seems to have money. Now, once one of these kind of people, a Hollywood actor, a famous rapper, once one of these kind of people sneak into the DM, the next step is fly me out. Fly me out to your location. I'll come spend the weekend with you. Fly me out to your location. I'll come spend the night with you. Whatever. They get very excited. They think they're about to get flown out, go on a shopping spree, have sex with somebody who's famous, become their wife, and now live in Hollywood in a mansion forever. That's the fantasy. Doesn't normally happen that way. Apparently, the pickings is a lot, right? You're rich, you're wealthy, you're famous, and there are a lot of women out here trying to get into your company. So you're picking somewhere in the millions, and you narrow it down to those who are closest to you. You're still in the hundreds. And then you narrow it down to those who you consider to be really bad, really sexy, the top 10s. And you still got about 50, 60 of those. You got to narrow it down some more. But they're there. And they're willing, and they're ready, and they're waiting. But they better get what they want, or it comes back to bite you. This young man, however, they said, he wasn't playing in his age group. He was preying on teenage girls who saw him as a star and had Hollywood dreams. And he used that to his advantage. Now, over a 2-year span, the paperwork says that he would get the women alone, and then he would assault them, take them out on a nice date, have them feeling like, oh man, he's really feeling me. He's really like pulling me into his company. He's really gonna take me into Hollywood. And then they would go from a nice dinner. Let's go back to my place, sip something and slip something in a drink. You know, the rest is history. She gets woozy, passes out, the clothes come off. She wake up feeling like somebody ran through her. She is saying, what happened? Why'd you do this? I didn't want to have sex with you. And he is like, yeah, you did. And she's like, no, I didn't. Why did we do this? Blah, blah, blah. What did you do to me? So people started making complaints about him. And the complaints started adding up. That is how he ended up with 7 different individuals giving the same story at trial. Now, when they said stop, he didn't care. He'd go on anyways. But this is the words of the prosecutor, right, in court. Walker was first arrested in Van Nuys, California in 2018 after authorities connected him to a chain of sexual assaults. And this is according to the news release from the Los Angeles Police Department. Walker made his film debut in a film called Kings, starring Halle Berry and Daniel Craig. These are huge names in Hollywood. Who else has this on their resume? You could say, man, listen, go watch the movie Kings. I was in that movie with Halle Berry. And then he landed a 2-episode piece on the drama television series In Contempt and a role in a remake of the 1970s thriller Superfly. So he was out here getting to it, you know, doing his Hollywood thing and got swept up. He is also known for his career as a rapper with his EP called The Intermission that was released in 2017. You could go check out The Intermission and see if you think he got good rap skills. Following his conviction in April, Walker, his lawyer, said in a statement to the news media that my client maintains his innocence. He did not receive a fair trial as many important issues were excluded by the courts. At the time, he said that his client was portrayed as a monster and they definitely planned to appeal. Now, that was 2 years ago because he was sentenced in 2018 and he went to prison in 2018. Now, he just released something yesterday, June 21st. Today is the 22nd of 2024. I'm bringing you his update. His name is Private Vibe on Instagram. And honestly, I'm looking at his picture. He has a Jesus cross piece around his neck. He has a wedding ring or a ring on the finger that you would wear a wedding ring on. And he's just standing there against a wall, taking a picture in his prison blues. But I don't know. He just struck me as the type of person that might be in there doing some strange things, if you know what I mean. I mean, you get hit with 50 years at 27 years old, and you're like hypersexual. Your hypersexuality does not disappear. It does not go away. It goes to prison with you. And these are the people who usually end up getting into things behind bars. But we'll talk about that on another day. So his up-to-date information says this. Currently serving a 50 years to life sentence in prison. After 2.5 years on the inside, here's what's going on. I currently have passed 6 college courses with straight A's. I'm currently on track to receive my master's degree in sociology, psychology, and communications. I am a current leader and speaker for an NA and AA group which helps incarcerated inmates get and stay off drugs and alcohol in prison. I'm currently a lead speaker of a group called Fatherless Fathers, where I coach and teach other inmates of all races and ages how to deal with the trauma of growing up without a father. I'm in constant communication with different gang leaders on the yard of different races to ensure no unnecessary violence happens in the facility. I am now a certified barber. I cut all inmates' hair for free to give the men a sense of confidence. Finally, I work a job pushing elderly inmates in wheelchairs who are on the verge of passing away for 16 cents an hour. I am motivating myself to keep going in here. You can do the same out there. Despite your current situation, always remember that God has the final say. Stay resilient. Okay, now that's all good and dandy. Sounds good and peachy. But you 2 years in, you still have 46, 47 years to go. You're 2.5 years in. He got 47 and a half years to go. And he's doing all this. I don't think reality has really set in yet. I think he is banking on hopefully his appeal will go through and some judge somewhere will see that he got an unfair trial and they'll probably overturn his verdict or grant him a new trial where he'll be given less time to serve, right? Something. You got to keep hope. If you don't keep hope, going to prison at 27 years old and getting 50 years before you're eligible for parole, you're coming out at almost 80 years old and then have to register as a sex offender for the rest of your life. That's enough to make somebody want to kill themselves. What's funny is he is in there for sex offenses. And prison is not normally kind to people who go in for sex offenses. In men's prison, you're the one that get bitched out, if you know what I mean. If your offense is rape or especially him with teenage girls and he was an adult in his 20s, right? They shouldn't be treating him too kind in there. But according to his account, he is a lead speaker in this, and he is a leader in that, and he is speaking to all gang members and leaders on the yard to make sure no unnecessary violence happens at the facility. And I don't know if he is embellishing, like he is grandiosing his position in prison or something. Like, how can he be so powerful that he is speaking to all the gang leaders of different races and different gangs to make sure that no unnecessary violence happens at this facility? Who gave him control of a facility? He is a certified barber, cuts all inmates' hairs for free just to give the men a boost of self-confidence. I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. But if there was ever a sad story, this is one of them. And the lesson in this story is don't take what is not yours because you surely will have to pay for it. The lesson of the story is don't go too high above yourself. That's exactly what he did. He got a little break in Hollywood and then he